Hey there, everyone. It is Denise Salcedo. Welcome back to Instinct Culture. I'm very excited to introduce to you my guest for today. He is Impact Wrestling's very own Moose. What's up, Moose?
How you doing, Denise? Thanks for having me. Big fan of your podcast.
Oh,
Um,
really? That
to
makes me
be
very
honest,
happy to hear.
I usually watch it after a big pay-per-view to see what you guys have to say about it. So
Oh,
yeah.
well, I'm okay. So I really hope you caught Rebellions then, because I absolutely loved your main event match with Josh Alexander. I thought it was very, very good. Match of the night for sure. So let's go ahead and kick things off there. How did you feel about, everything that went down at Rebellion? How did you feel about the match? And how do you feel now?
I'm still sore now. Have a lot of mixed emotions. Obviously, I had a 6 month run as Impact World Champion. Um, I mean, I don't hate Josh. I actually respect him, and I believe that Josh, just in the last year, has proved why he's undoubtedly one of the best wrestlers in the world. And he prevailed at Rebellion and prevailed again in our rematch that aired last night. And I'm happy to see what his run is gonna be like. He deserves it. Um, he showed he's a standard of what professional wrestling is at Impact Wrestling, and I can't wait to see what he does with it. I was very happy with the match. Definitely one of my better matches I've had. I know everybody says, "Oh, it's Moose's best match of his career." I feel like everybody says that after I have a good match because they forget what my last matches are. But it's definitely one of my better matches, and yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be good going in because I'm working with a professional in Josh, and he's known for putting on great matches. So I knew I was going to have a good dance partner, and the match was going to be what it was.
And the story that you guys told heading into that match, it got very, very personal. How did you feel about everything that you guys did ahead of it, and how much do you think it impacted the story and also your match and just everything that you guys did during that main event?
I think the story that was told was phenomenal. It's like one of those things that I think the reason why the match was so good was the story that was told prior to the match. It had people very invested in this match when you have a super heel villain versus this baby face, and everybody wants the baby face to win. So they told us. I remember Robert R.D. Evans um, told us after the match. It was one of those things that you could tell in the arena. Everybody was waiting for the main event. It felt like everybody was there just to see the main event because of the story leading up to it. And it's one of those things that they could write the story and present everything and make everybody invested. But once we go out there, it's on us to you know what I'm saying, to I guess put the exclamation point on the whole story that's been told for 6 months, and we did a good job doing it. So I honestly, this is I don't know if this is my favorite match in my career, but this is definitely my favorite rivalry that I've had in my 8 years of professional wrestling because of how invested um, the fans was into the match.
And how did you feel when they told you, like, hey, like, this is what we're going to do? We're going to be incorporating Josh Alexander's family. How did you feel about the concept? How did you feel about all of that?
I loved it. I thought it was good because I mean, if you watch Impact Wrestling, you know I'm one of those heels that I will go after your family. I mean, if you looked at my rivalry with Eddie Edwards, I went after Lish, his wife. So I feel like that's my thing now as a heel. That if I have a program with somebody, and if your wife works for the company if you bring her around, probably going to go after her to play mind games. Yeah, so when they told me that was going to happen, I loved it. I loved it. It showed how um, despicable and vile as a heel I am, and yes, I was a big fan of it.
That's freaking awesome. I love that. So let's go ahead. I do want to ask you though, because as champion, you got to be champion for a while there and you got a lot of competitive matches, etc. But I do want to ask you how you felt becoming Impact World Champion in terms of what it meant for you, especially given that it happened right as Impact Wrestling was going back on the road.
If I was happy. Usually when they put the title around you, the company is pretty much telling you you're going to be the face of the brand. And so when they told me what was going on, the plans they had, I was very proud because I mean I've been in Impact. Other than Eddie, I feel like I've been in Impact the longest. And I've never been Impact World Champion. And it was something that I worked my ass off to accomplish. I know a lot of people said that when I wrestled Austin Aries in, I want to say 2017, maybe 2018, I should have been Impact World Champion then. But honestly, speaking, I don't think I was ready to be champion. I think I was too new in my wrestling career. I didn't understand what it meant to be champion yet, and I think I needed time to learn what being champion was all about and learn what carrying a company and being the face of a company was being all about. And I think they picked the right time at last year's Bound for Glory to pull the trigger on it. And I'm very proud, and I'm already doing my homework to see what my when I do eventually win that title again, how what I have to do to make it different because I don't want to be the same guy and I don't want to be the same character and tell the same story in my second reign as champion. So I'm already doing my homework on what I could do to make my second reign different than my first.
And with that being said, you mentioned how important it is. Once you're champion, you're essentially the face of the promotion, etc. So, in terms of that, what would you say was the biggest thing that you learned about being champion?
Um, when you're a champion, they look now you're looked at as a locker room leader. People come to you for advice and to look at their matches and see what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. And be honest, 2, 3 years ago, I wasn't ready for that because I was still green myself. I didn't know what being a good wrestler was about for a younger guy that asked me, "Hey, how can I be a good wrestler?" I mean, I'm still because a couple of years ago I was still trying to be a good wrestler. I didn't know what being a good wrestler was about, but I think that's different now, where I'm looked at as a locker room leader and having to make smart decisions and having to be on time and helping with the positive vibes in the locker room. So that's what being a champion is. Doing interviews, doing media tours like I'm doing now, presenting yourself as a top guy, as a champion. And honestly, those are things that I wasn't ready to do 3 years ago when I wrestled Austin Aries that I'm doing now. Obviously, talking to you and being here in Cincinnati and doing all the different media stops that we've done so far the last 2 days. So
How did you feel about being locker room leader?
it feels great. I mean, it feels good. Obviously, you lead by example. Um, that's first and foremost. You have to lead by example. Being in the building on time or coming in an hour before call time and doing things like bringing smoothies or snacks to the guys. You know what I'm saying? Just to have a good camaraderie and good positive vibe coming to the building, and that's something that I pride myself on, and look myself and Josh now and Eddie Edwards and the Rhinos and some of the guys, the older guys in the locker room. The the younger guys look on us to to lead by example, and so I mean it's a great feeling. It's definitely a hard responsibility, but I think myself and Eddie and Rhino and Josh, I think we're mature enough to wear that hat as locker room leaders. And I mean, on the knockout side, Deanna and Gail and Rosemary and like yeah, so we have a huge responsibility on our back, and I think we've all done a good job doing so.
What was the conversation like with Josh Alexander afterwards? What was the feeling like with Josh Alexander, especially after that match?
Oh man, nothing but praise and it's just one of those things that I've been there since he signed with the company, and I remember he was stuck in Canada for a while and just doing the indie shows in Canada, and Impact took a chance on him, and just his growth since he's been in Impact, being just a tag team guy and just a pure in ring wrestler, and not to now having not only good on the mic and being good with his promos, but learning how to get the fans attached and invested in what he does um, outside of the ring. So I've been there since he's been with the company, and I've seen his growth. And like I said, I'm happy he's champion, and I think Impact picked the right guy to beat me for the championship. And I can't wait to see what his growth and where he goes with being champion. I mean, obviously we all know he's great in ring, and there's probably nobody on our roster better than him at that side of things. So I'm looking forward to see who he wrestles, and some of the stories he tells and what he does with his run.
And one of the things I wanted to ask you too is, prior to you winning the Impact World Championship, you got into like insane shape. Tell us a little bit about what that process was like for you.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I knew there's another thing to saying why a few years ago I don't think I was ready to be champion, because obviously my body wasn't where I needed to be. And when you think about top guys in the company and world champions, you not only think about their presentation and their in-ring work, you think about their aesthetics and how they look physically. And myself, I'm a big Triple H fan, and I mean everybody who watched me wrestle and for my entrance, the way that I controlled the ring would see the comparison to myself and Triple H. And I knew one thing he always had, and something I was lacking, was the aesthetics, the way I looked physically. And when COVID hit, I remember Scott Demore sending me a picture of what I used to look like, with me tucked over and my belly fat hanging over my trunks. And he didn't say
You're
any
like, why you got to
words.
rmind me?
Yeah, he didn't say any words. He just sent me that picture, and I was like, "Oh my god, I need to work on this." And I remember that day, I found a trainer and somebody to help me with my diet. And I mean, it was one of those things where COVID happened right I mean, soonly after that conversation I had with Scott. And I was like, you know what? I'm stuck in the house anyway for the next few months. I might as well use this time to work on my diet and my training. And yeah, so I was consistent. I was a psycho about it. And less than a year, I lost about 40, 50 pounds, and I'm like a new human being. I'm happy about everything that happened. I'm happy that Scott sent me that text message. And I mean, as bad as COVID is and COVID was, I'm happy that happened, because it gave me time to and something to look forward to doing during that off time we had. And yeah, so I use that negative time in our world to make something positive out of it. So
I gotta tell you, that's awesome though, because like you said, I think people had two choices during COVID. You either do something while you're in lockdown, or you like eat away your feelings and all of that. So I think that you definitely found something that worked for you. And obviously it paid off, because like you said, I don't think you would be the same champion that you were if you hadn't done those, adjustments in your, personal life.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, like, and I mean, I'm waiting to see what's in line in the future for me. I know I was supposed to be getting surgery on my shoulder, but good news is I met with a second doctor, and they said that my shoulder is one of those things that can heal on its own as long as it doesn't get worse. So I'm happy for the good news, and I'm happy that I'm not going to be taking so much time off, banging my head on the wall, waiting to get back in the ring, that I can still do what I love to do. So I'm looking forward to see what's next for me, or who's next for me.
Do you have any idea on what you feel you want to do next?
Uh, Honestly, I've joked about this a lot of times with Scott. I don't think it's gonna happen. I will want to just be DJ too large for the next few years, maybe for at least a year. I know it's a character that is only for IPWF, but I know that character is pretty over, and I wish there was a way that we could kind of like bring that character to Impact Wrestling and just have me do that. And at least if I ever turn babyface, it's like one of those things that if I ever turn babyface, I wouldn't want myself to be the same character or the same person I am now. It will be something I would want to be somebody totally different. And why not DJ Too Large? I mean, he seems like an
Exactly.
entertaining character, right?
I like that you got the wheel spinning at least on something that you would like to do.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Moose, we do have a couple minutes left, so I want to go ahead and transition to the next portion of our interview. And I want to go ahead and ask you 10 random questions about yourself, and you just go ahead and answer them however you please. Are you ready? Let's go ahead and do the lightning
let's
round.
do
Here
it.
we go.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Question number one. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, that's actually a tough one. Favorite movie of all time. I'll probably have to say, that's tough. One of the Avenger movies.
Okay.
I don't know which one. I'll just say Avengers, not the last one that came out, but the second to last one.
The Infinity War one? Is
Infinity
that the
War.
one? Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
Okay. Question number two. A least favorite workout.
Least favorite workout is back workouts.
Okay. All right. They sound painful enough.
Yeah.
Question number three. What's on your gym playlist?
Gym playlist. I love music, so I have all different genres from rock to R&B to rap. So,
Any particular artist?
um, okay, I'm gonna sound like a big mark right now, but one song that has to be on my gym playlist is Edge theme song, the old
The
one.
Yeah, the old one, right? Oh, nice. I think that's definitely a popular song with everybody, so I don't blame you whatsoever.
I know my friends I'm in group chat with are gonna listen to this podcast and call me a mark, but it is what it is.
Hey, if it gets you going at the gym, then so be it.
I love that song.
Question number four. What is your process like on a show day?
Process on a show day is being positive and being friendly and trying not to stress. I'm not one of those guys that has to listen to music and get all riled up because it's like I want to be as calm as possible. So it's um, I'm always the friendly, nice guy, like upbeat, positive. Because when I go out there, I want my mind to be clear. So.
Good thing. Good thing to know. Question number five. How do you spend your days off?
Sleep.
Thumbs
As soon
up.
as I get as soon as I get home from a loop or a show, I literally sleep for 12 to 15 hours. Like
Oh,
I just
wow.
yeah,
Oh, wow. But that's a good way to like obviously get your body like rebooted.
yeah.
If that's like the best way to say it. Uh, Question number six. Who's your favorite person to have been in the ring with?
Um my favorite person to be in the ring with. Um I'll pick three. I have three guys. So Josh and Eddie, if obviously those Eddie's one of my best friends, so we always have that chemistry where it's one of those things where we could go in there and call the whole match in the ring because we've wrestled each other for so many times. Josh, because of how awesome he is, and somebody that I could wrestle every day for the rest of my life is Heat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I could wrestle Heat every day for the rest of my career and rest until I'm 60. So those are my top three.
Good picks. Question number seven. What is your proudest career moment?
Being Impact World Champion at Bound for Glory when I cashed the Call Your Shot down, but that was my proudest moment.
And question number eight. Do you remember the last thing you Googled?
Where the closest gym is to me in Cincinnati. I did that last night or yesterday evening. Yeah.
That makes more sense. Definitely something that I would expect.
Yeah.
Question number nine. If you could become an expert in anything overnight, what would it be?
Expert in anything overnight. Um, I don't know. That's a tough one. An expert in anything. Maybe finances to see what else I could put my money in to make more money.
That's smart. That's very smart. And last question, question number 10. What is your best cheat day meal?
Anything dessert.
Oh, really? Any
I'm a
favorites?
big I'm a big dessert guy. It doesn't matter what it is. Like I like during this whole training for um usually I dial in my diet like a month to 6 weeks before pay-per-view. And I'll have a cheat meal like once every week, maybe once every 7 to 10 days. And only thing I want to eat on those cheat meals is not even food, it's just sweets. So you're talking about cake, cookies, cheesecake, ice cream. So I eat so much of those things where I think I'm gonna get diabetes like by the end of the night. So anything sweet is a best cheat day meal for me.
That's awesome. Awesome. Alrighty. Well, there you go. That is a wrap for our lightning round game. Moose, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. Before we go, please feel free to plug in anything you'd like to plug in.
My Twitter is the Moose Nation, and my Instagram is Moose Nation 69. And make sure you get your tickets or order on Impact Plus Under Siege, which is May 7th. Next weekend, actually, next Saturday. I have no idea what I'm doing then. I don't even know if I'm on the show. But yeah, order it. You don't want to miss Impact's incredible roster going to work. And yeah, see you there.
Awesome. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and post all of the links in the description box below. Again, do not miss Impact's Under Siege on May 7th. Again, I will post the links where you can watch the show in the description box below. But other than that, we'll see you guys next time. I'm Denise Salcedo. This is Moose. See you later.